Well, Christmas has passed and the exchange of gifts has commenced. Luckily, I got something that I think I got the good end of the deal on here. In the words of the great Wolf O'Donnell, we are going to have fun with this thing. Or to say it more in his voice, we're going to have fun with this thing. But for now, let's get on to our current game, Reckless Drivin.
I want every single unit after the guy.
Everyone?
Everyone!
This is Reckless Drivin, also known as Burning Rubber 2, a Macintosh shareware title released in the year 2000 by Jonas Echterhoff, and is obviously the sequel to Burning Rubber. This is also the first game that I can remember that's named after an act of crime. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto was released first, but I played this first. So, eat it, Grand Theft Auto. This game, like its prequel, has a pretty simple premise. Cause as much destruction as possible, don't die by carelessness or having the police push you off the road or otherwise kill you, get through the 10 levels as many times as you can, get a high score, because that's what all the old video games were about. This time it's 5,000 points to an extra life, but, well, you do get a lot more points in this game. Reckless Drivin', unfortunately, isn't quite so over the top as Burning Rubber. Traffic doesn't go flying when you hit it. In fact, ramming traffic can end up making you lose control if you aren't careful. The levels are also varied, many of the levels inspired from the previous game, but driving in mud, dirt, sand, or snow actually affects your handling this time around. And there's even a level where you take to the water and drive around in a boat. Oh, and on the water level the police have torpedoes somehow, so yeah, have fun with that one. The police in here are friggin' insane.
Everyone!
They'll ram anything in their way to try and kill you, and I mean anything. Often killing civilians or even themselves in an attempt to run you off the road. Even the police motorcycles join in the fun and go full lemming on you, killing themselves with absolutely no benefit because they're motorcycles. They don't even move you at all. You just get a free 200 points when they ram you. Oh yeah, and anywhere off the road still seems to be laced with nitroglycerin. Maybe it comes from these explosive tanks that are lying around the road once in a while. I knew someone was behind all of this. This high police motivation is probably why running out of time no longer kills you, it just makes your score tick down. The only lack of motivation seems to be from the helicopters, which just seem to hover around and watch you. Maybe they're news choppers. Though everything I said I wanted from Burning Rubber is here. Varied levels? Check. Better car control? Check. You can actually reverse this time. Police involvement? Check with a capital C. Then there's the power-ups, which I actually think can take the fun out of this game. I do have fond memories of playing this game as a child, but I'm not here to talk about nostalgia. No, wait, yes I am. This is the closest thing I had to Grand Theft Auto, and I loved blowing the freaking crap out of everything. But I do have to say that it's a little, well, wonky again. But this time it's because the difficulty is all over the place. Burning Rubber didn't so much have a difficulty curve as a difficulty mountain range, and Reckless Drivin' is even worse, actually making you not follow the name of the game and have to drive carefully, especially on the snow or dirt levels. Along with the fact that there's a twisty, barren final beach level with dunes that you can accidentally jump off of that gives you plenty of time, and, aside from a couple of jumps, is best taken slow and steady. You know, the names should have been switched around. Burning Rubber should have been called Reckless Drivin'. You'd do a lot more of that in that game. And you know, Reckless Drivin' should have been called Burning Rubber. You're going to be braking a lot and sliding all over the place. But I'm dancing around the big complaint here, and that is the power-ups. See, there are crates scattered randomly on the road, although there are a few places where one is guaranteed to show up, and there's even one place where there's a huge stash guaranteed to show up. These crates contain either a power-up, 2,000 points, or an extra life. Besides the time bonus multipliers, which are the only thing you don't find in crates, there are 6 power-ups. There's the mines and missiles, which give you a great way to defend yourself, and, in the latter case, the occasional chance to blow up gas stations for 750 points. Though, honestly, wouldn't you blow up the gas stations anyway? Because it's a video game, you always blow up the gas stations. Or you could blow up houses. They don't really seem to give points, and they turn into a wrecked car for some reason. I have no idea why. Another weapon power-up is the spikes, which let you hit vehicles from the side and rip them apart. A good way to score points from the semis. You don't get spikes if you're in a boat, though, and don't try and use the spikes on the police. It doesn't work. They're immune to that crap. the turbo engine power-up. You will learn to hate the turbo engine power-up. Normally in a game, a turbo engine would sound great, but in this game it's horrible. It usually makes you go too fast and end up sliding off the road, so this power-up will probably kill you. Oh, and if you're skidding while going really fast, it's a sound meant for torture. If you have sensitive ears, plug them for a couple of seconds or so. Yeah, it's ear rape. I'd rather listen to the engine sound from Vet on DOS. But then again, this isn't a constant sound, thank the heavens. The add-on lock is a power-up that lets you keep your power-ups if you die, so you can keep all your added equipment on your car, making sure it stays more modified than the Millennium Falcon for a little while longer. Obviously, if you die, you lose this power-up. It'd be kinda cheap to be able to keep this one forever. You might be thinking, what power-up was there here that broke the game? I didn't see anything that threw anything too out of balance. It's this one. It's the police jammer. This is the big one, the one that really throws things out of balance and breaks the game, in my opinion. Once you get this, the police act like you just don't exist, even if they were in the middle of chasing you. Yeah, it sounds great, but then the game becomes way too easy. Since you don't die from running out of time anymore, you can only die by your own carelessness once you get this power-up. This means you can do things like going through the game multiple times, which I did. I lost count how many times I looped through the levels, but it was over 5. I finally ended with a score over 200,000 before I started dying due to being inattentive, which means I actually ran out of hard disk space recording this. Also, the credits are off on my screen for some reason, so sorry, I don't really have any good footage of that. I'm running this on macOS 10, maybe that's why. Didn't have to emulate this time. Burning rubber is hard, and I don't mind a challenge in a game, but what I complained about in that game was the control introducing false challenge. I have nothing against a hard game, even if my swearing at my TV or computer screen when I play one seems to indicate otherwise. Reckless Drivin is hard, unless you have the police jammer, which is basically like a permanent smart bomb. Aside from a few of the jumps in the levels, you can just cruise through the levels if the police aren't chasing you, so I kind of feel like that power-up shouldn't even be there. If you have it, nothing's out to kill you, there's no challenge, you just drive along and blow stuff up once in a while. That's not very exciting. Otherwise the game gets kind of tense sometimes, even with weapons. I mean, after all, you only have so many weapons. You know what could have fixed it? If the police jammer had a timer when you picked it up, or if you could choose when to use it so you could get the cops off of you for a limited time if they're trying to push you off the road or something. Or maybe just a reduction in the number of cops after you because of the jammed communications.
Everyone?
See, there's all kinds of ways that power-up could have been more balanced, aside from permanently disabling the cops until you die. But, to sum it up, Reckless Drivin is a fun old game I have fond memories of, but it has a fatal balancing issue in the police jammer power-up that makes the game too easy for its own good once you pick it up. You can get this game for free along with Burning Rubber from Jonas Echterhoff's website if you want to try them for yourself. This is Tanara Kuranov signing off and leaping away towards the next episode of— Ow. Dang it. We're gonna have fun with this thing. Oh, Whoops, I dropped it. Playing it now, though, the controls are kinda wonky, if that's even a word. I use it, so I say it's a word, so shut up if it really isn't.